We must never lose sight of the fact that the law has a moral foundation, and we must never fail to ask ourselves not only what the law is, but what the law should be. I found this quote from Brainy Quotes, and it is stated by Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy. One judgment passed can have a tremendous impact on someone's future. In today's society, it is important that we become aware of the people who enforce laws. Today we are going to discuss 3 important aspects associated with Kennedy, such as a small background involving his personal life, his significant rulings, and controversies involving his stances on today's issues. First, let's begin to get to know the man behind the quote. According to SupremeCourt.gov, Anthony Kennedy was born in Sacramento, California on July 23, 1936. He is married to Mary Davis and is the father of 3 children. According to Wikipedia, Kennedy received his bachelor's degree from Stanford University and Law School of Economics and his bachelor's of law from Harvard Law School. According to biography, Kennedy has been part of the California Army National Guard, the Board of Federal Judicial Center, and 2 committees of the Judicial Conference of the United States. Also, from 1965 to 1988, Kennedy was professor of constitutional law of McGeorge School of Law, University of the Pacific. He was appointed to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit in 1975. President Ronald Reagan nominated Kennedy as an Associate Justice on the Supreme Court as he took his seat on February 18, 1988. Therefore, this man has been on the Supreme Court since I was born. Now that we've gotten to know a little bit about Kennedy's background, let's shift to the significant rulings Kennedy has faced as an Associate Justice. As I said earlier, Kennedy has been Associate Justice since 1988. Therefore, he has had many important cases that has hit his desk. According to Supreme Court laws, one of these famous cases occurred in 1992 and is called the Planned Parenthood versus Casey. This case challenged the constitutionality of many Pennsylvania state's regulations dealing with abortion. Another big case that Kennedy was a part of was the 2000 Stenberg versus Carhart case. There was a Nebraska law that legalized partial birth abortion except for when it could save a mother's life. The Supreme Court disagreed with this law because it violated the 14th Amendment's due process clause. Now it is time to discuss some of Kennedy's controversies and stances on today's issues. Kennedy versus Louisiana case, which involved the death penalty for rape. Kennedy wrote, "In most cases, justice is not better served by terminating the life of the perpetrator rather than confronting him and preserving the possibility that he and the system will find ways to allow him to understand the enormity of his defense." Another controversy involving a stance on the issue occurred in 1996. According to a biography, Kennedy wrote the court's decision in Romer, governor of Colorado and Evans, which avoided an amendment to the Colorado State Constitution that prohibited state and local governments from enacting laws that would protect the rights of gays, lesbians, and bisexuals. In conclusion, let's recap what we learned today about Justice Anthony Kennedy. Today we learned a little bit about Justice Kennedy's personal life, such as his schooling experience and working positions. I also discussed Kennedy's significant rulings as well as his stances on today's issues. Like I said earlier, it is important for us to know about the man who enforced the laws we are forced to abide by. So I leave you all with this question. Will you get to know your Supreme Court members? Thank you.